to the new set review of Toon Chaos. Now, I wanted to do this on my own channel, but I decided because people were like this and because I want you to direct you here, I decided to do the Toon Chaos on the Coalition of Scrubs. Before we begin, a few particular messages. First and foremost, we're only going to look on the 24 cards revealed in the set, essentially like the imports and the 10 exclusives. Secondly, well, there is kind of a giveaway that I wanted to try to do on my channel, which I'm going to announce tomorrow, of course, for my channel. So do check that out. Go check my channel as well as other YouTubers here, because on my channel I'm going to do something very, very big as well as like another thing that's going to happen. You'll see tomorrow. Just stay tuned. There is a bigger, or should I say, a big giveaway idea that I want to do there. So do keep that in mind. So go check that out tomorrow. So what is Toon Chaos? Well, Toon Chaos is a very, very interesting set in its distribution. I think it's one of the worst set I've seen in rarities distribution around because it's so bad. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. 6 rares and 1 foil in the pack is absolutely horrible. So I would not recommend to buy a box if you're just looking for specific cards. Just buy it singles. If you're just buying the entire set, like boxes and everything, go through that. I don't recommend to buy this as singles. Also, the camera is a little bit down, so let me fix that. Okay, there we go. Now let's get moved to the cards themselves. I'm going to go card by card and essentially talk about them. So first things first, we have Blackluster Soldier, the Toon version. This one is really good, actually. It's an excellent card that gives you the ability to tribute from your hand or field Toon monsters. And then also it has the same effect of Envoy of the Beginning, essentially like banish stuff, but it cannot attack. Also, it's the only Toon, except from, I think, Toon Dark Magician Girl, I think it is, that doesn't have the Toon Sickness. So that's actually really awesome. So I'm going to give to this one 4 stars. And funny thing, we have stars now. Actual stars. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, it's an excellent card. Next up, we have Harpy Lady. Harpy Lady is just a free special summon. Obviously, if you have Toon World and everything, if you have another Toon monster as well, you can pop a back row. This one could be even better in September when we're going to get the the Dragons of Legends reprint, when we're also going to get this Harpy Link, not Link, but Synchro. That is going to make this card even better because then we'll have access to something very, very cool in the extra deck, as well as going to give you access to rank 4s and link 2s, making this card very, very excellent. It's pretty much a staple in the deck. You're running 2 to 3 about these 3 stars. Pretty good card. It's not as good as Blackluster Soldier, but it's still a pretty good card. Next up, Toon Bookmark. Toon Bookmark is Toon Table Content 2.0. It's pretty much a little bit more restricted, but I still think like decks like Exodia and stuff like that can still run it in a way if you're looking for degeneracy. So you have Toon Table Content, and then you have Toon Bookmark, and then you have Toon World, right? Toon World, the original. So you run 3, 2, 1 respectively, or something like that, and that just make it still an engine that you can search stuff. So yeah, or 3, 1, 1. I don't know. Still could work. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't make those way too bad. The other effect is the protection effect of Toon World in the graveyard, and I'm going to say this should have been like Super Dora. Then when it's like also protect you from card effect period, not just destruction, because that would have made the card so much better. But it is what it is. Still 5 stars, an excellent searcher, and a nice protection. Next up, Toon Page Flip. This card is also 5 stars. This card is just summoned for you either BLS, Red Eyes, or Dark Magician Toons from your deck. Nothing more to say about that. It's a quick play. It's an excellent card. Like I said, 5 stars. It's really awesome. Lastly, we have Toon Terror for Toons, which this one is just a trap that requires a little bit too much than I would say that it's necessary. It's asking you to have Toon Kingdom and a Toon monster, or should I say Toon World and a Toon monster. Which I think making the card a little bit worse, which kind of bad in my opinion, but still is a very, very nice counter trap. But nothing more to say about that one. It's kind of a little bit boring. Nothing really more to say. I think it should have like a grave effect or something very, very cool, or less restrictions, but still pretty nice card. 3 stars. Next up, we'll move on to the Chaos section. For the Chaos section, first off, we have Chaos Creator. Chaos Creator is a very interesting one. It's kind of like the same with Chaos Monsters. You banish 1 light and 1 dark special summon, but if you special summon it from the hand, you get to pretty much target 3 light and dark monsters in your banish pile. Choose one of them, or I think your opponent choose one. I don't remember exactly the text, but once you reborn one of them, and then shuffle the 2 others into your deck. It's pretty dumb. Or return them to the graveyard. I don't remember exactly, but it's pretty dumb effect. The fact that it's Monster Reborn and recovery the same one is absolutely stupid, and it's banish 2 monsters for its summon to essentially like you just need additional 1 in the banish pile. It's making this card pretty stupid. 5 stars. Very good card. And a lot of decks are going to find a place for this one. Like, a lot. Let me think. Some people trying this in Orchest, in Dream Mirror, in Cyber Dragon can even work. In Light Sworns, in Rockets. I already named a few. This card is pretty good. It's not as good as the spell, which we'll get to it, but it's still pretty good. Then we have Daedalus, which is the protection for field spells, apparently. It's a weird one. The only deck I think it's absolutely amazing is decks like really need to protect their field spells. For example, Dream Mirror, as I mentioned before, this is very excellent for them. But other than that, this card is pretty bad overall. So it's not that it's bad, it's not really that useful. So 2 stars on that one. It's a pretty good card, like I said in Dream Mirror, but not anywhere else. Then we have Valkyria. Valkyria just you summon by banishing either a light or a dark. You don't have to banish both. And she essentially searched for you, or should I say, she sent to the graveyard. I don't remember what her effect is, but it's very restrictive when you banish her. I think she's sent to the graveyard, or add to the hand. I'm not really sure. Sorry about that one, but it's you cannot activate the effects. That's the point, which making the card very restrictive. It's useful in decks like Light Sworns, but the restriction could be really bad because like you cannot do anything with this. I mean, the card is very usable, but it's just making the card kind of worthless in a way. Still very nice to use around, but kind of making it like a one-off in your Chaos variants, so to speak. The new card. So 3 stars on that one. Then we'll move on to probably the best card in the set, and that is Toon. We're talking about what are called Chaos Space. This one is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to give this one 5 stars. It's not even 6. This card is so powerful. Imagine this scenario, right? Let's say we're playing Rocket. We have Absolutor Dragon in our hand. What do? Oh yeah, we're just going to discard Absolutor to search, Rocket Tracer with this effect. Then you're going to pretty much search the Light Dragon, the Light Baby Dragon. You then summon Tracer, banish the Absolutor to special summon the mini Light Dragon, link it to Hockey Fibrex, summon Rocket Synchron from your deck, search the Black Mini Dragon, the dark one, banish the light one to special summon the black one, or should I say the white one to summon the black one. Then you pretty much do your things of like, before you link away, you just use Chaos Space in the graveyard, shuffle, or should I say put back on the deck the white dragon, and then draw a card, and then you can use the black dragon to search the white dragon again from the bottom of your deck. You cannot summon it, but it's still another card that you can use later down the line. It's absolutely ridiculous, and Chaos Space is absolutely insane. It's not only good for these Chaos monsters, but generally, this card, if it will get banned in like 6 months or so, I will not be surprised, because this card is so powerful. It sounds like an okay card and a fair card, but no, it's not. It's a ridiculous card. 5 stars, if not even 6. This card is the best card in the set, in my opinion. Next up, we have Chaos Eternal. 1 star. This card is too slow and pretty garbage, so nothing really more to say about that. Now we'll move on to the Fire Warrior package bullcrap. First off, we'll start off with... I'm saying bullcrap because I really think they should have released this as a structure deck, but not here. Like that, and should have just gave Toon a little bit more of support, or just give us a lot more imports, rather than just making 10 of the imports being like, cards you should have been released in an actual structure deck. But it's still they're here, so that's really okay. Then we have first off we have Renault. I believe the name of this one, or no, not Renault. What it's called? I forgot the name of this one. Regardless, this one is just Ren. We're going to give this one 4 stars. It's just really good. It's giving you the ability to just a Fire Warrior to just special summon and recover stuff. It's just really good, and it's going to find itself in Infer Noble Knights. This one is actually really good. It's probably the best one out of the 2 Infer Noble Knights that you get here. The other one we're going to talk about, this is the one that I confuse with their names because they're sometimes very similar or just annoying. Next up, we have Immortal Gearfried. Immortal Gearfried is a very easy special summon boss monster that can just really help you against kaijus and stuff like that, so that's really cool. Not kaijus, Nibiru. Nibiru and just a negate during your turn, really nice, very strong stuff. It's just an easy special summon. You just banish and equip, special summon, or should I say like send and equip. Regardless, it's just really easy to summon. You then, if you have something equipped, you just send it to the graveyard and then just like negate the effect. It's so easy. It's so good. 5 stars on that one. I think it's just really good. Next up, Submission Knight or whatever it is, the level 3 that essentially equip a Fire Warrior from your deck. It's another really nice fire starter for the deck, for the Fire Warrior and for Noble Knight deck, which can really good be like a kind of a half Rhoda, half Foolish Burial in a way. So I'm going to give this one 4 stars. It's very excellent. It's not as good as the other Infernoble Knights, which I think are a little bit better for the deck. And with this support, Infernoble Knight can actually be like a tier 2, tier 1-ish deck. But without this 3 cards, not really. The rest of the card for Infernoble Knights are on the weaker side. We're starting off with the Ronald, which I mentioned. It's a 2 stars in my opinion. It's a good equip. Search, and it's nice during the end phase and whatever, but it's so slow. It's really not that worth it. You have the level 5 Synchro that just does the same thing, but better. It's Search a Warrior, but still, it does the same thing, kind of, but better. Then we have Evan Q, or whatever it is, 1 star. This card is cool, but no, Gemini monster in 2020 that just does something with Gemini. It's cool. You have the field spell for Gemini that can allow you to normal summon again, but it's still very slow. I don't think it's going to find a place, and if you're even going to play Fire Warrior, just play it Fire Warrior with these cards. It just really doesn't feel worth it. Gear Breed, which is the spell that I think is not that good. 2 stars. It's okay, it's nice, but it's not really needed. The search effect, the draw effect, all of that stuff is it's not really on the strongest side, and I don't really think it will see play. Still, very much easier to activate than Invenqui, or whatever his name is. Then we have the new equip spell, which Rapitus, I believe, or Rapinus. It's really interesting, Gemini support, again, but not really useful for the Fire Warrior's playstyle, so it's not going to see any play. So I'm going to give this one 2 star. I don't think it's really good. Then we have Crossover. Crossover is an interesting one. It's really restrictive, but it's kind of a mind control that equip the monster to you. So I do recommend to not slip on this card. I think it might actually going to find some use in being like a pretty nice card. Like, it does require you to control a warrior monster, but it doesn't really sound that hard. And then you kind of like getting a mind control in a way for your archetype. Still, I'm not really sure it's absolutely amazing, but 3 stars on that one. I think it could find a home because it's kind of a mind control for warriors, which is really nice. Then we have Absalanion. It's the trap. 2 stars on that one. It's really nice for Gem Knights, but Gemini, again, I'm doing the same mistake, but it's just a trap, so it's way too slow. So, yeah. But that does it for the imports of the Fire Warriors. Then you have also, like I said, the Chaos monsters and Toons, which I covered. And the last 4 cards are cards that are pretty much just generically just nice imports, which are, the first one of them is the, or should I say 2 of them are 2 Fluffles ones, which we have Angel, which is 2 stars on that one. It's an interesting scale effect. It's only useful in the scale, but Fluffle already have enough good cards that they don't need this. So I'm just going to say this is just really just okay. as for Meisner, 1 star, it's just not really that useful of a card. The fin defects and the stuff that work with the gems doesn't make this card better, so yeah, not really good in that one. Next, we have the so-called new code generator for Cyvers, and it's really good. It's a much-needed card. It's let you, again, just like Code Radiator, link from the hand for a Code Talker with monsters on your field as well. It's giving you another effect if it's on the field. And the effect on the field doesn't really matter, like, what you get, like, unlike Code Radiator, the effect on this field doesn't matter. Code Radiator, the effect on the field could matter. This doesn't, because it's a foolish burial for a 1200 or less attack of Cyvers monster if you use it from your hand. But instead of that, if like you do that, use it from your field, you just add the 1200 or less Cyvers monster to your hand, which most of the time you don't really care about because you send something like Dotscaper or things that just like to be in the graveyard. So this is just a really good card, and just add it to your Cyber stuff, or should I say the Code Talker deck, because it just, this adds so much consistency to the deck, as well as like we have the reprints of the so-called promo cards, which weren't available for us for I think like a year or maybe less. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just really nice to have. 5 stars on that one. I think this card is absolutely amazing. Lastly, we have Sigrun. Actually, no, we have another one. We have Sigrun, and then we also have Hope. Sigrun is a new really good Valkyrie card. It's giving you the ability to just really easy to pull up another Valkyrie from your hand or graveyard or whatever, or deck. I don't remember. I think it's hand or deck. And it's just absolutely stupidly awesome. You just send them like a continuous special summon, then get a special summon again. It just really helped the deck quite a bit, and I think it's just really nice. 4 stars for Sigrun. Lastly, we have Hope, the new combination, or should I say the combination between Yuma and Yuya from those series. I don't really think this card is really good. 2 stars on that one. Sorry to end up on the fizzle, but it's just really on the weak side. It has a nice effect, but Pendulums have better tools so much, and the nice Xyz summoning and battle protection just really not going to cut it this 2020. But yes, that's pretty much does it for the old 24, I believe, cards from Toon Chaos. Yeah, that's it. Nothing more to say about that. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm going to remind you to like and subscribe to every single one of the Coalition members, as well as like maybe go and check out our own channels. And the giveaway thing is going to be tomorrow, as well as some other things. But yeah, this is pretty much the set review. Nothing real much to say about that. Pretty short and sweet set. Overall, I think the tunes could have been a little bit better, and more of them, instead of some of the so-called, oh yeah, let's just throw the fire structure in instead of just, let's make it an actual product, but whatever, what happens, happens. And the Chaos stuff is absolutely ridiculous, keep an eye on that one, as well as the Fire Warrior, the 3 first ones that I mentioned, which is Submission Knight, the Gearfried, and the Ren. These are going to be also absolutely insane. As for the rest, it's up to you. But yeah, there's a very nice set, just a little bit on the expensive side. That's pretty much it. See you next time. Bye-bye.
We don't play good decks, we play bad decks well. Scrubs by choice, in this abyss we dwell.